Are you prepared for your water needs at Philmont? I'm going to show you a better way. And you're watching Andy Parrish Outdoors. Well, hey everybody, Andy here, and thanks for joining me today. And today we're talking about Philmont water needs. And if you've been to any scout camp, you've probably seen these Gatorade bottles everywhere. They're great, especially for younger scouts. They're bomb-proof. They're dishwasher safe. You can put hot liquids in them and it's not going to melt the plastic. They've got these great wide mouths so that if you want to clean the inside, you can get a brush in there. Lots of great features. If you don't like drinking out of the wide mouth, you can buy these great adapters that make it so that you've got a narrow mouth that are much easier to drink out of. This one's actually been to Philmont, so you see these everywhere, and for good reason. They're great bottles. But I'm going to talk to you today about another option, because I think there's a better way. So first and foremost, why do you not want to take one of these after all those great things that I listed? Well, they tend to be heavy. You know, a standard bottle with a standard cap is 6¼ ounces. That's a lot of weight, and that only covers 1 liter of water. So if you have to have 3 or 4 liter water capacity, you're gonna take 4 of these? Think of all the space that those are gonna take up, and think about all the weight that that's gonna add up to just for water storage. So let's look at some other options. Well, here's the first one. You've probably seen these too. These are, the water bladders or the water reservoirs, and these are meant to be filled up and they get put in your backpack, and then you've got this hose that comes out the front and you can drink as you're walking along, hiking on trail. The nice thing about these is you can get extra large capacity. So this is a 3-liter bag. A lot of scouts will bring probably the 2-liter bag is kind of the standard. So the advantage is while you're hiking, the convenience of these is outstanding. And the weight savings can be pretty substantial when you think about, one of these bags weighing about as much as a Nalgene, but you can fit 3 liters of water versus 1. So I really like that. And the second thing is, as you're hiking along, there's nothing simpler than reaching down and grabbing your hose and drinking out of it as you're hiking along trail. You don't have to slow down, you don't have to stop, you don't have to ask somebody to get the water bottles out. None of that. This is very convenient. Now, the only drawback to this is that when it's in your pack, you don't really know how much you're drinking. So, out west in Philmont, especially, we're always kind of reminding the boys, drink, drink, drink. It helps with altitude sickness, and it helps just to keep them hydrated so that we don't get into other, heat exhaustion and things like that out in the Southwest. When this is in their pack, they can't really see how much they've drank. So, if we're on trail for 4 or 5 hours and you ask them, are you drinking? They'll say yes, but you can't really double check to say, well, that's 3 liters and it's barely even touched. You don't have a way to really look at that without setting it down and digging into the pack. So that's the only drawback with these. But for the convenience factor and for, younger scouts, I think these are a great option because while they're hiking, there's nothing that's more convenient. And if it helps keep them hydrated, I'm all for it. So the other drawback though is once you get into camp and you set your pack down, you're not going to be carrying this thing around, walking around camp drinking out of it. It's just not convenient. So this is meant for hiking on trail, and that's about it. So you need another option. So a lot of times what you see is the scouts bring something like that and then something like this. And I think that's a great option, but there's another choice. How about something like this? So now you've got your water bladder while you're hiking, and you've got a water bottle for while you're walking around camp, okay? This weighs 1.3 ounces with the sports cap that I got from a smaller water bottle from Smartwater. The smaller ones have the sports cap, the larger ones have just the twist top. So I bought one of each, and I took the sports cap off of the smaller one and just put it on the 1-liter bottle. So the Smartwater and the Nalgene have the exact same water storage capacity, But at 6 1/4 ounces or 1.3 ounces, this one is a much better option in my opinion. Now, the drawback to this is it's got a narrow opening. So one of the things that you'll get at Philmont are drink mixes, okay? So you're gonna get, powdered packets of Gatorade. You're gonna get powdered packets of, Acclimate, sports drink, or some of the other options, the lemonades and the iced teas and things like that they hand out, that it's kind of difficult to pour in the powder into a bottle with a narrow opening. So that's one advantage to the Nalgene, is you've got the wide mouth. The other option is one of these. So you can pick this up at any gas station at your grocery store and bring this to Philmont, and you've got a wide mouth. You've got, again, the same capacity storage as the Nalgene, and these weigh about 1.3, 1.4 ounces. And they're very durable, so you don't really worry about these puncturing or breaking over the course of the backcountry. And they also fit nicely, just like the Nalgenes do, because they're roughly the same diameter, into your side pockets in your pack. So maybe instead of bringing this, you bring this, okay? So what I do is I actually typically have one of these, and then I may have another thing that I bring to just increase my storage capacity as we're hiking. Instead of bringing 2 or 3 of these to be your extra, what I bring when we need more storage on trail is something like this. So this is a 2-liter bottle that's collapsible. So the advantage to this is, say we've got a long distance between water stops and we need to load up 3 liters of water, or maybe we've got a dry camp tonight and we've got to have enough water to make it through the rest of hiking, the evening meal, and the next morning of hiking before we get to the water stop the next day. So you might need 4 liters of water, okay? So if I've got one of these and one of these, then I can also supplement my pack with one of these. And again, these weigh roughly, it's at 1.4, 1.5 ounces. I think it's even a little less than that for a 2-liter water storage. So that's a great option now to have something like this, and then 2 bottles, one for a drink mix, which is my smellables, okay, my Gatorade bottle. And then I've got a water bottle that I hike along and drink out of while I'm on trail. Now, I've also heard people say, yeah, but I can't reach the side pockets. So I'm always asking people to help me get those out. Well, there's a couple things that you can do. One is a shoulder strap carrier. I'm going to show one right now. This is great because it puts it right on your shoulder strap, so you can literally slide your water bottle on your strap, and it's sitting there waiting. Whenever you need it, you can pull it out and drink and slide it right back in and keep hiking. And it's about as convenient as you can get. Now, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to add that to your pack, one other option that you can do is a little modification. You can buy something like this. Now this is just, if you look at it, it looks just like the cord that comes off your water bladder, okay? It's got a mouthpiece at the end. They're a little different mouthpieces, but there's a mouthpiece at the end. And what this is meant to do is just screw onto the top of your Smartwater bottle. So if you're hiking along, you could literally take that top off, screw that top on. That goes in your side pocket of your pack, and this comes around and you can drink out of this as you're hiking on trail. So that's one option. These are on Amazon. I'll put a link of all this stuff down below. So if you want to see this combination of things, you can pick up what you like and add that to your own water kit. Now, I'm also going to show you one other thing that might be another option instead of my Gatorade water bottle. And that's a collapsible water bottle that can be used, that I use for all of my smellables. So this is the Ultra Flask by Hydro Pack. It's just a collapsible water bottle that weighs 1.3 ounces. Okay, so I double checked. This is 1.5 ounces. This is 1.3 ounces. And this is 1.3 ounces. So what's great about this is it's 600 milliliters. It has a wide mouth opening, so you can put drink mixes in pretty easily. It has a stopper top, you know, kind of like a bite valve, just like you have on your hoses that you use for your water bladders. So this is a great option with this and this. So now I've got 3.5 liters, a little bit more than 3.5 liters of capacity with just these. And my total weight is 4.1 ounces. That's crazy, 4.1 ounces for 3.6 liters of water. Okay, for a lot of scouts, that may be all that you need. And if you really want to have greater capacity, you could have 2 of these 2-liter bags, okay? Or they sell them in smaller sizes too. So you could have, you know, a different size bag for this too. This is the 600 milliliter. It also fits because it's made by the same company as the Be-Free water filters. So if you happen to have a Be-Free water filter bag, they sell them in 1-liter bags. I've taken that before and used it just with this great bite valve top. Okay, so then I've got a full liter bag and a 2-liter water storage and a 1-liter Smartwater bottle. And I've got 4 liters of capacity for barely over 4 ounces. That's crazy. And all of these are pretty inexpensive too. You know, the Smartwater bottle, the Gatorade bottle are great options that are just, I think, more convenient than doing something like this. And again, remember, this is 6.25 ounces. This is 4.1 ounces. So this is lighter than 1 Nalgene. And I've got almost 4 times the capacity. So something to think about. Well, if you found value out of this, please go ahead and give me a like. It helps other scouters find these videos so, you know, they can benefit from this knowledge too. I'd also like to hear, what are your water solutions in the comments down below? I'm always looking for great ideas as well. So if you've got something that you think would complement these well, or if you just like the setup, I'd like to hear about it. So thanks so much for watching. That's all for today. Until next time, be well.